Hey guys, and welcome back. So yesterday there were a few things that were announced that I was a little bit late to the party for, or I am a little bit late to the party for because I was really busy yesterday. And I'm excited about this. So first and foremost, we have a few things I'm really going to talk much about, like Alicia coming out, assuming her kit is the same. I did do a video talking about what she did in the data mine version, so you can find that in the description or clickable on the screen in the final 20 seconds or so. There are some other pieces of content like Battlefield of Chaos, this new gem feature. There's also guilds that are mentioned here and various other things. But what I wanted to talk about today is balance changes. So always really cool to see buffs or balance changes to characters in games. And especially when they're not locked behind some sort of paywall. Looking at you, legends. Anyway, so starting things off here, I hope you guys enjoy. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about these changes. Do you think they're going to be impactful? Did they change one of your favorite characters, a character you use pretty frequently or often? Same meaning there, but you get my point. Let me know. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Currently, as we move towards through early access and the official launch, we're disappointed to see that some hunters are not as favored as our development team intended. The development team has been continuously considering this issue and determined that in providing the joy, it's got some Google Translate stuff going on again. Providing the joy of diverse gameplay is crucial. Therefore, a performance adjustment will take place as below, based on current usage and performance balance results. So one thing that they mentioned previously in one of these notes that you can tell when you look at the way the game is designed, especially if you have experience playing a lot of gacha games and stuff. This game is designed with the intention of making you build your team's characters, your Sung Jinwoo, his weapons, his skills, all centered around you taking on stages with mono in mind. What that means is like the opponent is weak to fire, so you're going to switch your Sung Jinwoo to fire-based skills, runes, weapons. You get the point, right? You're going to bring fire-based hunters, things like that. That's what this game is designed to do. However, and it's not like the most complicated thing, but however, what they have here is a situation where, regardless of the way that they buff or reduce the output of damage for certain elements, people still kind of just take whatever they want. They're taking Chahyun to any piece of content, Min Byung-gu, these other characters like Suh, these other characters that you can kind of just slide in no matter what. So that's kind of why they want to do this, because they don't want these other characters who inevitably don't make the cut to just be useless, basically. So first thing here is Beck Yunho. The overall damage will increase, and Damnation QTE will be adjusted to be easier to hit when attacking at close range. Now you can use the Damnation skill without hesitation. So, is it a design choice for some of these QTEs to just flat out miss? Like I was not aware. I have operated as that being some sort of bug, and some of them improve without seemingly any notice. For example, the other Beck Yunho, I swear to God, he would always miss his QTE switch in, and now I haven't been having that problem. I swear with Suh Jiwoo, her move where she like cocks back that fist and there's nothing in front of her, and then all of a sudden there is. It just looks so weird, choppy, like she's going to miss but she doesn't. So is it some sort of design choice? Like, I don't really understand that. Now, what I mean by that is, like, obviously you can miss, right? If it's out of range, that's just one thing. But sometimes, like, with Beck Yunho, the other one, like I was saying, he would literally flip in and attack the opposite direction. So, like, it's like, dude, no one's even over there. So I'm not really sure. I just assumed that was a bug. Anyway, this is cool. The overall damage will increase, and then also his QTE getting better. Woo Jingel. So Woo Jintel's a funny character because he's the type of character that's got utility. He's got, that dash utility, which is awesome. Like, he gives Jinwoo an extra, 2 dashes. He gives your other teammates 1 dash, which is fine. He has some break in there. His break effectiveness, like other breakers, goes up when he gets extra dupes in him, I believe. He's got some super armor. He's got some fun stuff, but just due to the nature of the way the game is designed, you haven't really needed much wind for anything right now. And so, unfortunately, he's not really all that useful. And his damage is suspect too, unless he's like super duper built up. With the addition of super armor when using skills, you can maintain your damage. Oh, hold on. Consistency is the key to holding onto the surveillance team position. With the addition of super armor when using skills, you can maintain your damage cycle without being canceled. Upon achieving the first advancement, the cooldown penalties will be eased. preventing any cooldown gaps from the Meditation of Power skill during 3-party tag play. The overall attack tempo will be increased, allowing faster hit and run attacks. So this is some, like, again, like lost in translation stuff. With this last line, are they saying that his attack speed will increase? I think that's what they're saying. Like, his moves will be faster. And the way it kind of reads is that it also will be a part of the first advancement dupe on him, but maybe that part is just automatically going to change. I'm not really sure. It also reads like he's picking up super armor on his other skills, and he had this weird thing where he wanted to use his skills, but his cooldowns were going up. It looks like they're, if I remember correctly anyway, it looks like they're offsetting that because that just was stupid. In fact, that was something with several characters. In fact, I have to pull up the game. I don't have it open right now. I kind of feel like that happens on most characters, doesn't it? Where as you level up the skills, the cooldown goes up along with the damage. It's the weirdest thing to me. I don't understand that. But nonetheless, that was happening here. So it looks like that's not really happening. With the first advancement, the cooldown penalty will be eased. You know what? Let's actually pull up the database. I just remembered I can use that. Let me pull it up. So this is the Solo Leveling Arise database. Shout out to them and their awesome team for the stuff that they've done here. So let's pull up. Whoa. The effects of Meditation of Power change. Increases break. Can be used up to 3 times. However, increases cooldown. There it is. I was like, he's got this weird thing where he's increasing his cooldown. I knew it was in here somewhere. But yeah, that's separate than what I was talking about. What I was talking about is when you level up the individual skills. Anyway, yeah, this was stupid because he would increase the cooldown. You don't want that period no matter what. But it was really stupid on him because he wanted to get a loop going where you use one skill into the other skill. So right here, decrease the cooldown of Iron Fist by 3 seconds when the first attack hits. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So they're going to take that off. Okay. Will be eased. Does that mean it's going down or it's just coming off? I'm not sure. Preventing any cooldown gaps. Okay. Speaking of other Beck Yunho, here he is. By the way, there was some other stuff down here. They're changing some weapons too, huh? Okay, I was wondering if there would be more text down below for each character. So, other Beck Yunho. To prevent situations where extreme attack beast form penalty poses a threat to survival in long-term battles, we aim to further enhance survivability in... Okay. So the skill they're talking about is the one where he gets the extra damage, the attack speed, but also takes more damage. The skill 2, right? So that's kind of what that is. And it's just completely just like broke, okay? It just broke, okay. So that's like that skill is the main. You don't really need to level it up or anything. It just is what it is because it's never really gonna do like crazy amounts of damage. But this skill is like the linchpin of his kit, right? So, extreme attack beast form. During extreme attack beast form, the accuracy and rigidity of basic attacks will be improved, allowing for more overwhelming and relentless attacks. Okay, so his accuracy is going to go up, which is interesting. I'm not sure what they mean by rigidity. Is he getting a better hitbox? Is that what they're saying? I'm not sure. But... that's really good, so you can do more damage. His basic attacks are his whole thing. He spams those. But the penalty poses a threat to survival, so we aim to further enhance survivability in extreme conditions. So what are they saying? Is he going to get some sort of passive when he gets too low on it? Let's say he hits like 10% HP. Is he going to get damage cut? In his data mined kit, I'm pretty sure he had leech life or drain, whatever you want to call it. They took that off. And that's something that they should have not taken. The reason they took it off is 2 reasons. Maybe balance, because maybe they thought he would have been too strong if he just never died. And then also, giving him something like that kind of creates a weird situation where sometimes you can't play in the zone that he wants to be in. He wants to be low HP, right? It's not as... It's almost similar to like the Scythe, how with the third or fourth advancement, it picks up a really slight regeneration. It's not enough to be a problem, but if it was like any more than that, it probably would have been, right? So, kind of tricky thing. In fact, I have to absolutely know now because I brought it up. I absolutely have to know. Where is it at? The third one, yeah. So, the Scythe wants you to be below 70%. So, just, Beck Yunho is kind of similar, where he's like designed to function solo. And also, if you've got his custom weapon, he also peels his own life off with that too. Furthering the playstyle that he wants to have. Basically with him, You get high damage, high risk, high reward, glass cannon. It's not even that he's a glass cannon. It's that you just can't get hit because you don't want to use your HP for any damage. You want to use it for bleeding your own life to do more damage, right? So kind of a weird character. Bora, despite the recommendations for stats, including artifacts using critical hit rate and damage, the Phantom Foxes had individual crit hit rate damage stats. Now the Phantom Foxes will inherit some of Bora's stats, making them even more powerful than before. I did not know that, actually. I knew she had a crit focus. Ironically, I put her video out today on how to build her, and it was that. I did not know that the Phantom Foxes had their own individual stats, which is interesting. Now they're going to pull some of her stats, so that's good. That will just make her do more damage, which is her primary focus. I know she kind of gets cast away as a support character because of her charms, and if you're using her on a dark team, she does the circle too. But her thing is she's supposed to be a damage dealer that can support the team. Dongsoo, the difficulty of using charge skills due to the absence of super armor before the impulsive revenge effect will be improved. As a result, he will be able to execute more aggressive attacks than before. Overall damage will be increased, granting more overwhelming destructive power than before. So he's an interesting character because similar to Wu Jingel, there's not much need for him right now. But he does do one thing in particular that's super strong, and that's peel shields off. Like, he's the only character I think in the game right now that can do that. So if you're versus a boss that has a thick HP-based shield, he'll just rip it off. And he also does it on the support skill too, which is really, really strong, supporting Sung Jinu. Also, with advancements in him, he is probably the highest damage dealer in the game because of the way that his defense-based stat keeps going up and all his stuff scales very highly off of him. So, and he can spam the skills too to an extent, similar to Suju and stuff like that. So he is a really interesting character that we just haven't had a need for in terms of actual gameplay. Like, maybe if he was a breaker, he would get more use, but that's pretty much it. His other issue, though, is range. He does not have good range at all. He's a brawler-type character, and he needs to be right up on you. And again, Jiu also has a similar issue, but she has better range because she's got that one lunging attack too, right? So it just kind of fixes things for her where she can close the gap pretty easily. But his attacks seem to be also a hair faster too, if I remember from the last time I used him. So Lim here, the inefficiency of benefits compared to the required operation due to that's hella language right there. The inefficiency of benefits compared to the required operation due to the alternating usage of shoot and maneuver. Just the terminology is crazy. Into volley fire skills will be improved. Additionally, overall damage will increase when Lim Teagyu is in the magic boost status. I don't really have a comment on this. I think I needed to read it like a few more times to fully break it down mentally. I don't even understand what they're trying to say here. I do not understand what they're trying to say here. Just the terminology is just like really weird. Let me see what the skills are. Shoot and maneuver to volley fire, which would be the basic, right? Yeah, the ultimate to the basic break. Wait. This is a skill into basic. Okay. So what they're saying here is the inefficiency of benefits compared to the required operation. So weird of a terminology to say. The skill can be used up to 2 times. It does the break. This is the one where he does a little shuffle and ends up on the other side, right? Enhances the skill effect of shoot and maneuver, increases the user's skill speed with that first dupe, and can be used up to 3 times. That's hilarious. But how does that interact with volley fire? Is it triggering the core attack? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was like, is it triggering the core attack? Yeah, it is. I've used him a little bit, but not a ton, because I actually recently got him. When the skill is used, it activates the user's core attack. Okay, so I'm guessing they're trying to make it more worth it to use the core attack afterwards. Kind of weird. But yeah, let's move on from that. The following hunters and weapons are also scheduled to be buffed compared to their current status. Min Byung-gu is getting buffed. Suju, Emma Laurent, Chae. What is this? Chae-in, Choi Jong-in. It's like all the best characters in the game right here. What the hell? That's like all 5 S tier characters. Like seriously, what the hell? SR Park, Boom Shik. That's the dude. Song and Joe. SSR Vulcan Rage or Lycan Slayer. More details will be provided in a future update. Wait a minute. Why why do the five best characters of the game need to be buffed? What? Wait a minute. Also, what this is... Oh, it's not even that the 5 best characters are getting buffed. What they did here... Okay. I see what they did here. It's like... Okay, what they did here is they basically did 2 waves of SSR Hunter buffs. These are like... Oh, I don't think there's another single SSR Hunter in the game right now that's not mentioned between these images and the names I just read off. We're going to quickly cross-reference, but I think that's what they did here. So that makes it less jarring. Beck was in there. Cha was mentioned. Choi was... Choi, I think is how you actually pronounce it, by the way. He was mentioned. Emma was mentioned. We saw Dongsoo. Lee Bora we saw. Lim we saw. Min was mentioned. Seo was mentioned. Or Sa. We saw Silvermane. And yeah, so that's what they did here. So basically what they're saying is, hey, we're doing these right now, but later on we'll tell you what we're doing to the other characters, because they'll change too. Okay. SR Park, Song, and Joe, that's hilarious because those are all of the worst SRs. Like, seriously. I think you can get some use in very specific scenarios, but there's no reason to build them. I think Song probably has the best usability, but there's no reason to build them. Vulcan's Rage, I don't really care about Lycan Slayer, but Vulcan's Rage is also the worst Sungjinu weapon. Despite it being a fun, interesting weapon when it's got advancements, it's the worst one because something has to be there. I don't care about Lycan Slayer, though, like I said. So they are doing more buffs. And so if you recently got on, a couple of weeks prior to global launch, they also did another round of like buffs and stuff. They didn't really change any hunter stuff. It was just like, I think like visual stuff or whatever. Anyway, they did change some of the weapons, like the demon longsword, stuff like that. They did improve like its damage, some of the other weapons too. I actually think Vulcan's Rage was in that bunch. Was Vulcan's Rage in that bunch? As for SSR weapons, which require a lot of time and effort to power up, they are not easy to use for hunters who prefer a relatively lighter gaming experience. To address this, we are preparing features such as evolving SR Sungjinu weapons into higher grade weapons and crafting SR Hunter exclusive weapons. This has been in data mines, so it's not terribly surprising. But there's an advancement feature for the weapons that are SR based for Sungjinu. Like, you can take his daggers up, which I actually think I'll do, just so I can make him canonical, right? I think that would be really fun to do a video like that. Because they're not going to print SSR versions, apparently. I don't want to say they won't, because the game is brand new. It's got at least 4 or 5 years in it, right? So like they will probably at some point, but I don't want to say they won't. So that's cool. Also, crafting SR weapons will be really interesting because, simply put, it takes way too long to be able to craft an SSR hunter weapon. But they really need to spike our enhancement materials for weapons and artifacts. It's just hard to get that stuff when you've done a lot of it. It gets really hard to get more. We will be trying to be careful and discreet as we can, as this will change the composition of the game that has already been launched. What do you mean discreet? As discreet as we can? I don't understand. We hope that our sincere wishes for many hunters to enjoy the game. Blah blah blah. We're receiving countless feedbacks on improvements and bugs. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I think this is a step in the right direction. Currently, the game is just a PvE game. I don't know if there will be any plans for any sort of PvP. And before, one of these modes I didn't read about that I will read about off camera is a PvP mode, right? I doubt it. But, so with that being the case, I don't mind any sort of buffs they want to give us. If they want to buff the entire game, I don't really care, personally. I just think that it's weird to change these hunters, which are some of the worst / least used ones. Like, some of these guys, like Beck Yunho here, arguably the best breaker in the game. Silvermane here, one of the best damage characters in the entire game. Like, some of these guys have use cases. These two are really solid too. It's just they're not as used as the other 5. Right? So I think it's kind of weird to buff these guys that need it, right? Quote unquote need it. And then also buff the ones that quote unquote don't need it. So there's that. But again, I don't really mind too much right now. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.